Pokey, offense was amazing on Saturday. How hard is it to see your offense do all the things that it did and still come away with a loss?
Um, Coming to meeting Sunday, Coach Ash was talking about how the offense was we really moving the ball fast. We ended up having over 66 plays in the first half and finishing with like 110. Now that's the first time in a while that we finished for over that many plays since Casey Brockman been the quarterback. So I mean, yeah, we was moving fast. We was getting good yards. Actually, like third down was getting first downs like constantly and stuff like that. But turnovers hurt us in the red zone, and then uh, that's about it. Really, the turnovers is just killing us. But our offense was moving fast. We was doing good, running the ball good. We was throwing good, but turnovers. That was killing us for honestly.
Same thing for you, Jonathan. Defense played really well, dominated on their side by the numbers, and you only give up 2 offensive touchdowns, but you still come out with a loss.
Go ahead, pull it over in front of you.
Yeah, like you said, we still came out with a loss. Defense played pretty good for the most part, but like you said, we didn't win the game. It's a team sport, and we win as a team, we lose as a team. So we just come up, regroup, and try to win the next one.
Jonathan, I know there were a lot of penalties. It was on both sides. Was the game called a little bit differently, or was it you guys more aggressive? Any reason for that?
I wouldn't say there's any reason for it. I mean, I think it's called pretty fairly for the most part. I think we want to be aggressive. That's the type of style we want to play. So I don't think there's any.
But it was a step up defensively in terms of the production. I thought did a really good job limiting their yardage. It just didn't come out on the winning end. Did you guys see the same thing on film?
Definitely. I feel like that's probably one of the better games we played all year defensively. But we just have to come out and keep doing the same things we were doing on Saturday night. And I feel like we're starting to click on all cylinders now.
Okay, Pokey, I have a couple for you. First of all, watching 2 guys who set records, Jeremy Harness catching 19 balls, big game for him. Tell me what it's like to be on the field and watch that kind of a performance.
Oh, it was amazing. The first half it was a lot of screen passes though, but I mean it's still amazing to see him catching other main balls, and then KD just his accuracy throughout the game was it was awesome too. But yeah, I mean it was fun. It sucked that we lost, but I mean I congrats both the guys for their records, and it was fun watching them.
And also, I was talking with Mitch Stewart last week. He said they need to get the completion percentage up. I don't know if he meant way up into the upper 80s like KD had, but that was a big improvement. And it also helps the running backs. When he's passing it like that, it gives you guys some room to work.
Yeah, I mean, as you've seen, that game, we actually rushed for probably the most yards we did this season combined as all running backs. But, yeah, like, KD came in. I can see he was focused at the beginning of the game. He knew what he was going to do at the start of the game, so he told me he's my roommate, and he told me the week that he's like, I already know, like it's easy for me. He's like, I'll back out, check my first option, second option, third option, and if I don't got it, I'm gonna run. But he already knows what his plan is, and he's a good quarterback. So Coach Stewart probably didn't expect that, but I did from KD. So
tell me how you got the name Pokey.
Long time ago, back when I was in T-ball, about 7 or 8. Pokey Reese, the baseball player, played for the Reds in Pittsburgh. I had the braids. He had the braids, and I wore number 3. And my coach one day was like, I'm going to call you Pokey, and then it's stuck since then. So,
yeah. You've been wanting to ask that question.
Yeah, it's baseball.
Right. We got it done.
I even called him Pokey Reese one time.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You said you and Katie were roommates. What's that like?
Oh, that's fun, man. Me and KD and Carson Griffith Kemp, the kicker, we're all 3 roommates. And, I mean, me and KD, we talk about, football throughout. We got practice, and then we just try to stay away from him because it's always good to get away from him and just to relax your mind. But even when we're back in the apartment, we're talking about scheming, stuff like that. Me and him have a good connection out in the backfield, and he uses him to game plan before the game starts because him and Coach Stewart, they got a good connection. But yeah, it's fun. Get to listen to KD talk how he what's his game plan is and what he's going to look, his reads and stuff like that. But it's fun having him as a roommate.
Is there an Oxer and Felix? That might be too old of a reference for you. Is one guy really neat, one guy really messy? Is there any of that type of dynamic with you guys?
Nah, not at all. We are pretty neat. We're not that type of household where everybody just goes in their rooms and they get back in the house. We're all in the living room watching football on Sunday, Monday. Even on Saturdays before our games, we get to chill before our games. We're watching football, playing Madden. We're pretty competitive in Madden, stuff like that. So, everybody's about equal in there. So.
SEMO's coming up, Jonathan. They're now the surprise team maybe in the OVC. They beat Tennessee State, and getting. I think they're ranked. Aren't they ranked now? Ranked in the conference. Talk about taking them on Saturday.
Yeah, like Coach Hat says, another faceless opponent. We go into this game just like every other one with the mindset that we want to win. Feel like across the board we can compete with them pretty good, so we just try to come out to practice this week and get a good week of practice.
They're a big rival too, so talk about how that adds to the game. They're 2-0 in the OVC. You guys are going to still be searching for your first win.
Yeah, definitely. We're still searching for our first win, like you said, but the rivalry is going to add a little competitiveness to it, of course, but we're just going to come into it as another game.
And Pokey, do you guys feel that now the OVC sees, yes, that offense is good, they're really going to have to prepare for it and have to try to find a way to keep it down?
Oh, yeah, of course. Offense did really well against Jasper State, too. Put up 28 points against them, and then which is the best team in the league, in my opinion. And then against Tennessee Tech, I mean, we didn't come up to win, but we still showed OVC how fast we can move and how much yards we can gain rushing and passing. It's just the turnovers killed us. But, yeah, I feel like people in OVC is going to recognize it now offensive-wise, and they're going to have to scheme us up pretty well.
Oh, and I'm going to ask Katie this on Thursday. Who's better at Madden, by the way?
Who's better at Madden?
Who wins?
At first, Katie's beat me a lot, but now, I'm getting up there. I use John Manziel a lot too, so when I get John Manziel, nobody can beat me. But Katie usually gets me. I don't know. It depends on the day, honestly. It depends on the day. So, if I get John Manziel, I'm gonna win.
You're gonna win.
Can y'all talk a little bit about homecoming and what it means to have all the fans come out this weekend?
Yeah, homecoming is always a big event. The tent city thing, and I was telling my mom about that, how big it is, and that everybody gets dressed up and stuff for it. But it's gonna be a fun weekend. There's gonna be a lot of people there, just like the last weekend we played Jacksonville State game. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be exciting. So big crowd is always exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big crowd, like Poke said, and just everybody dressing up in like the tent city and all that stuff. Just all the festivities going on for homecoming, so it'll be a good thing.
Does that help y'all play better when you have a lot of fans?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. It's a good thing when it's a good turnout, so yeah.
I'm going to get both your take on this. I know last year, probably one of the toughest trips you had to come home from was the triple overtime loss at SEMO. I know that felt bad. They come in ranked. I'm sure that still has a little bit of a memory for you. Tell me about going up against SEMO this year, and do you still think about that game?
Yeah, for sure. I've thought about that a lot, actually. It left a bad taste in my mouth from last year because I actually played in that game, and I remember that going on this week, using it as a little motivation, practicing harder and everything. So I feel like it'll be a good thing for us.
And Pokey, pretty much along that same line, you guys coming off a nice win over Jacksonville State, then lose over there to a team that had been struggling a bit. Now they come over here ranked 23rd, maybe a chance to return the favor?
Oh, of course, yeah. It's always exciting playing a ranked team. I didn't know that it was ranked, honestly, but that's pretty much that's getting me hype right now. But it's gonna be pretty exciting playing a ranked team at home for homecoming. Honestly, SEMO, I know they've been struggling in the past years, but this year I heard they're pretty good. So it's gonna be a challenge, but I feel like we can get the win for sure.